Yeah. All right.
We're live. It's the Spinnin Backfist MMA show for Thursday, November 10th. It is Thursday, right? Thursday.
Yep.
And it's Robbie, Big Ev, and JackMac will be joining in just a second. He's setting up all the audio, making sure everything is going well. Thank you for hanging in there. The Mean Girls were in here being on brand. They were being mean.
They bullied the shit out of us.
They really did.
They bullied the shit out of us.
I walked in, they told me to fuck off, so I fucked right
They
off.
said, get the fuck out of here, Ev.
I got
fuck
scared.
off, Robbie. I got pushed. It was like Brandon Walker and Devlin in the hallway, and I just made my way out of that locker.
Yeah, I mean, it was either they were going to beat up all of us or we left. So
we're here now,
and we left.
Thank you for anyone that's been in the chat hanging in there. We're going to break down UFC 281 today. And then if you didn't see my tweet already, come back tomorrow, same time, or not same time, same channel, but 11 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to be interviewing Leon Rocky Edwards.
In person, live in the flesh.
So that'll be pretty awesome. Right before UFC 281, we'll get his thoughts on the card as well. Obviously, his thoughts on the whole title win, how his life has been since he's been champ, all that stuff. But today we're here to talk about the card. I'm excited about this card. I'm fired up about this
Funny
card.
story about Leon. Troops interviewed him over Zoom a little bit ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Troops was late. And Jetski called me, and I thought he was going to be like, oh, could you just give me some questions? He was like, no, could you come interview Leon Edwards for me? And I was like, I was like, yeah, but
Did you do that?
And I was,
how did
I
this
sat
fly under my
down
radar?
here,
Okay.
and I was like, this guy's going to like shake his head because Troops, he's Jamaican. Like,
Totally. He's expecting someone else.
And then I'm sitting here like, hey, like, let's break down your right. Like, that was a great feint on the, like, instead of what Troops would have been doing, but Troops literally showed up as the Zoom was loading. So,
thank God. Okay. I was going to say, how did I not see that you were interviewing Leon Edwards?
And then Jesse was going to be like, yeah, we'll just put on back again, like Troops YouTube channel, but it would just be you. I'd be like, no one's people are going to be like, who the fuck is this? Who's that guy? Literally McGregor.
They'll probably only know you from, like, you're the Tottenham guy from the Troops, like,
streams.
Social clips and the streams and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's funny. I'm sure that went well, though. Is that out?
That's
out,
right? It has to be. I think it is.
Go check that out on Troops' channel, and then come back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time here, and we will be talking to Leon Edwards. But this card, general thoughts. How we feeling?
Banger. Love it from a betting standpoint. Love it from a viewer standpoint.
Oh, love it from a betting standpoint.
I do. There's a few fights that I like that I'm very confident. I feel good about, and that we're going to be live in the flesh. We're going to be there. It's literally right over there.
Yep.
I'm so excited. I'll be there first fight of the night. I'll be there early. I love getting there early. Olberg, Negamon Moreno.
Yeah, that's a banger.
Such a hard name. To say.
Yeah.
Banger, like opening first fight. Banger. Crazy.
Someone, Logan DeWolf, our guy in the chat, said, "The fuck is going on with Megan Anderson?" Shots are flying.
So Logan, a lot's going on.
Shots are flying.
It seems
left and right.
Sanko, Kraus,
Megan, Jeff Molina
came in.
Jeff Molina came in.
He came in like he basically murdered Megan Anderson. Just said you're a liar and told very intricate details of like things that had happened. That basically that she like her doing that basically saying was bullshit. Like Kraus did a lot for you. He like changed your life, your career. He constantly was talking you off the ledge. He constantly was doing this and that to help you out. And then you just totally stabbed him in the back.
Didn't say anything about the affair talk or anything like that.
No, he didn't comment.
Jeff Molina took more of like a don't disparage him as a coach.
Okay. Yeah, like he was there for you. He did like a lot for you.
Shots are
flying.
He
was like you were basically saying because she made the comment that no one gave her like no one really helped her at the gym.
She essentially said during the Amanda Nunes camp, James Krause would give her 1 30-minute pad session per week. Okay. That was her fight camp for fighting Amanda Nunes. She was like, what the fuck? Like, I needed a little more than that.
And then Molina was like, no, you were just lazy. You never wanted to train. Okay. People were constantly trying to like get you to train. She would joke. And like when she was training, she was lazy. She would make like half-ass jokes, being like, hey, like, let me win this round. Like, okay. She just basically just calling her out like personally, just like, didn't work hard. People tried to help. Like people did so many people did so much there to help you. You didn't take the help. You were just like, you were rude to everybody. Like he even was like, you were rude to like the person that greets you when you walk in at the desk. Damn. She's basically saying she was a piece of shit person.
And then, which would surprise me because from what I know of Megan Anderson, which could be a complete outsider, I don't know her day to day in the gym. She's always awesome. Yeah. Like she's done awesome stuff with us, Twitch. Interviews, Twitch. She's played Call of Duty with Smitty. Like
And
That would very much surprise
the
me.
rumor behind, for those people that don't know, and I'm a little confused too, Sanko and Kraus, Kraus was married, but then
And someone accused, I think Megan initially is how this
Yeah.
started.
Well, that's what it was. Megan accused Kraus and Sanko of having
an affair.
relations.
having affairs,
Yeah, right, yeah. Which is all. This is what Megan
and it was
Anderson
through
said.
a tweet where someone said like, "Oh, Megan was sleeping with James Krause or something," and she said like, "You should ask Laura Senko about that."
That's what it was. Yeah,
I believe that's how it all started. This is some crazy drama, especially for like a big fight week too. It's like,
Yeah.
I
Also,
feel like why can't this happen on a week where we had nothing to talk
and
about?
this only adds to the drama for Kraus, considering what happened over the weekend. I mean, I know there's no clear evidence he's connected to what happened with Milner, but
Krause's life is right now it's a cyclone of like,
I mean, it's like a movie.
it's crazy. It's
Crazy.
like
it's his own.
does Krause have
uncut
fighters
gems.
this weekend?
Is what?
Does Krause have any fighters this weekend?
I don't think so.
I mean, for the sake of his mental health, you would hope not.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
You
Probably
would
have
hope-
some
you would
big
hope-
bets.
Off the top of my head.
Take the weekend off and. Whew.
Did you think he threw the fight, or you think he was just injured?
I don't know. My instinct, I've said this in our group chat, was that I'd like to think at least that he didn't mean to intentionally throw it. I think he got hurt very badly and was like, I need this money. I need to fight. And then fought, was pretty much like, got in there and like pretty much knew walking in the cage, like, I have no shot. I'm so injured.
And
Just wanted out as fast as he could because he knew he wasn't going to win.
and then somebody else within his camp may have leaked it, or somebody may have caught wind of it.
Well,
Somebody
the
caught wind.
betting line going like we know Gant, like the line doesn't go from like
Doesn't
250
lie.
to like minus 500 in an hour before the fight.
Especially,
It just doesn't-
That's never happened.
it
And all
doesn't
the bets
happen.
were first round knockout, which
And
could be 2 and 2 together.
Well,
like you said.
that's more. I think that the reason the bookmakers they're mad because they got smoked.
Yeah.
They got absolutely murdered on this fight. But I think it's not even the throwing. I think like you just like put 2 and 2 together and just were like, why did this line just go up so exponentially right before the fight when the line's been relatively steady for a week or two straight?
Now the books did report it before the fight even happened.
Yeah.
They did report it to U.S. Integrity, like the betting thing.
I do.
whatever.
I
just
think
took it
there
off,
was
of
one. There was 1 or 2 sportsbooks that straight took it off the market
Yeah, I
entirely.
the day
think
of.
yeah.
Which that's probably what they should have done. So anyone that got crushed, I mean, that's on you
Yeah.
for not seeing like super sketchy like line movement and just leaving it up there to get burned. I think that's on you. But
how many people really even heard about it? We heard about it because we just had because we're not to say connected, but like we know some people.
I wish I wasn't like busy doing shit, or I would have like
I
would've-
put
I
I
heard from
wish.
it from
I
the
didn't- I
most
didn't-
unlikely of sources. I felt like when I heard it from my uncle,
yeah.
who is not really a UFC fan. He just lives in Vegas, and he was like, people are talking about this fight like being fixed or something. And I feel like me hearing it from him shows like how bad of a secret it was.
and that was
It's
before the fight.
yeah, this was like an hour before the fight.
Yeah,
maybe.
and
I
that's
texted
what it seemed like
the
when it
group
all
Thanks
chat.
for
happened.
texting the group chat because I
Yeah.
put a hefty wager on it, and it was. I mean, like
And I didn't
when it
even know what to
started,
think, too. When you get a text
I
like that,
know.
I'm like, it's a
I know what
fixed
you're
fight in the
saying. I
UFC.
know what
do you
you're
mean?
saying.
Like,
but when it started, the first even the first punch that he took, you could tell he was all. It was just.
It was
yeah.
so weird. I mean, he was tapping. He was barely. He obviously ended up like he was getting elbows right at him. but
Yeah.
there was a point before that where he was on the ground, really
He
not
tapped.
like he was just like tapping when he wasn't really getting
that was
hit.
weird. That was
He
really
wasn't
weird.
getting hit, and he literally was like tapping. I think the ref was so confused by it, he didn't respect the tap because
He, didn't,
he was
register
tapping
as
without
a
getting
tap.
hit.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think something like this is so hard to do, like to throw a UFC fight without getting caught. So they're gonna do an investigation. It's so hard
And
to do that.
if you do get caught,
They're going to jail.
No,
Yeah,
the ramifications are massive.
Crazy.
If Minner like was in on it in any way, like betting wise, he was going to jail 100%. Whoever else was involved in it would 100% go to jail.
crazy.
All right, let's get into the card.
All right, yeah, let's talk about this card. Also, tomorrow is the ceremonial weigh-ins and stuff, and I'll be there. I'll try to get some videos of Molly and stuff for the Barstool Social, and it's also the first press conference for the Power Slap League.
Oh, I did see that.
So I'll be there for that as well.
Oh, nice.
Part
Yeah.
of me wants to ask Dana White the old KFC radio and Barstool rundown hypothetical. If you got into a slap match, slap for slap with Floyd Mayweather, Dana, who wins? Dana's obviously much bigger than him. Can he eat those Floyd smacks?
See, like if you asked me, I'd say Floyd would smoke me.
Oh, of course. But he'd smoke me too. But like,
I think he would just know how to hit me better.
I feel like Dana's like a big guy. I don't know. He has been slimming down though. He looks great.
I mean, yeah, Dana's definitely much stronger than me. I'm much bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think he would murder me. In that.
Dana White plays that Thrill of the Fight on Oculus. It's his favorite VR game. He told me about it. I honestly had a heart attack mid round 1, and I had to take it off. I was like, I'm getting my ass kicked. Yeah,
dude, boxing is fucking brutal.
It's like a Russian guy in VR that just whooped my ass to the point where I took the headset off. I was like, no mas. I called it in the corner. All right,
throw in the towel.
Hold on, they're making me do one of these bridges to even pull the.
I have it up if you want me to.
First fight of the night is what?
It's Julio Arce versus Montel Jackson, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. Oh no, it's Oldberg and Nega Moreno.
This is an interesting fight. I like Oldberg, but I don't like. I feel I'm gonna be at the fights. I feel like it's just fun to take, obviously responsibly, like almost every fight, every fight, just to have fun. But this is not the one I feel the most confident about. But I think this is like I get why they're kicking it off with this, because they've been recently doing this specifically on pay-per-views, kicking off with bangers to get like you in the door.
Also space out the city kickboxing fight for the coaches.
But I'm really impressed with Oldberg. I think he's a good fighter. He's really improved since he's came into the UFC. He looked amazing that first round against Kenny and Chekwu, and then fell apart just because he gassed. But since then, he's looked a little bit better. But Nikolai's last fight, he looked like a killer.
He's tough as hell, too. He's big time chin. That's the only thing that scares me for Oldberg. Like, I think like Oldberg's more athletic, more skilled, more like technical. But Nega Moreno is just like, he's one of those dudes, he just doesn't quit. He's just like a grinder. He like the last time he fought a guy in the Contender Series who, after watching it, not to take anything away from Nikolai, I just don't think the guy's very. It was Igor Patera.
Yeah,
I just don't think he's very good.
He's Ukrainian, I think.
I think as long as my only problem is, I think Oldberg's gonna have a problem. Maybe I'm wrong. I kind of hope I'm wrong because I want to bet Oldberg. My scared part of me is that Oldberg might have trouble knocking him out because I think Nick Moreno is like so durable and just tough. But I think Oldberg could point him to death for sure. It's just about him not gassing out late.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden just getting like finished by exhaustion, or Nega Moreno gets tired and Nega Moreno starts landing big shots, like hurts him. Maybe gets a sub or like is able to like ground and pound him, like take him down.
I'd like to think Oldberg won't gas and will win this fight. Kick City Kickboxing off to a good start.
I like
to root for.
I have a good feeling about like the City Kickboxing group as a whole.
Yeah,
this week I think they're going to do well.
Jesse Adams in the chat said over or under 3.5 underdog wins on Saturday night. I'm going to say over.
I'll say over.
I'd say over.
There's a
I
few.
wonder what it is generally for UFC events.
There's a few on the like prelims that I like.
I feel like underdogs win a ton in UFC, a ton. So I would say over. I like Oldberg in that fight and would hope that he doesn't gas. Next fight, bantamweight, Julio Arce versus Montel Jackson. Another banger, to be honest.
I like Arce.
Okay.
He's a pretty big dog. He's plus 170. I'm pretty sure his last fight was he just got knocked out by Song Yadong.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is nothing to like really like slouch. I mean, Yadong's a monster. Like I'm not crazy impressed with Montel Jackson. I think Arce has a couple ways to win here as well. Like I think he can win by sub. He could finish him. He could win by decision.
A lot of the stats would favor Montel. He's younger.
Oh, he's bigger. He's
younger.
Sure.
He's got
Longer.
5.5 inch reach advantage. Got some height on him. I feel like I lean Montel.
I just think Arce.
I like Julio Arce too, though.
I just think for the price, I think Arce could potentially grind him out. We'll see. I agree with Montel is definitely bigger and longer for sure. So that's why I think Arce might even. I don't know.
On the feet, like he might be able to knock him out again.
I'm gonna have a great read on this fight.
Featherweight division, we got Mike Trizano versus Choi Sung Woo.
This is what they're both coming off losses. Trizano he got finished by Lucas Almeida after he almost finished him in the first round.
That was a great
really good fight.
Yes.
And then Sung Woo Chu had the fight against he honestly just got outclassed the whole fight against Josh Calabo.
Yep.
Trizano's coming off back-to-back losses.
Who?
Trizano.
Who did he lose to before that?
Duadu.
That's right. That was a good fight, though.
Yeah.
Duadu's pretty good. This is another one where I think I might consider taking a shot at the dog. Like, in those fights, I thought Trizano looked better. He just got caught.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Almeida hits hard. And
Duadu one was decision too.
And Duadu hits hard too. Duadu was a close fight. Duadu definitely won. Like it wasn't a bad decision, I don't think. But
he went.
This is another one I'd be willing to take a shot at Trezano plus 132.
I don't hate that. Is
Jersey
Trezano a local?
guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's Jersey
he
guy.
trains with Burgos.
Yeah.
Him and Burgos train together. They're boys.
Yeah.
Lone Wolf.
So the crowd's gonna be popping for him early. They're gonna be fired up.
Someone should. I don't know. There was something in that Colab. Like I think Colabo's good. I don't know. He just got totally outclassed like the whole fight.
Yeah.
Trezano at least has like been these last 2 fights. He's been like in the fights, and I think with overall better. Almeida's you guys' question, but Almeida I thought looked really good. Like Almeida beating Trezano like that I thought was impressive because Trezano hurt him like very badly, and was like just like wasn't able to get out of there pretty much because of the buzz at the end of the round.
In the women's strawweight division, we've got Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Silvana Gomez Suarez. I think Karolina fought in the Garden before. Did she fight Joanna in the Garden?
Yes, I think so. She's fought here before. Karolina, who'd she fight in her last one? Didn't we?
Felice Herring, right?
Herring,
and
yes.
they were both coming off a bunch of losses.
They both were on
Karolina. Karolina looked good. I think
she finished her.
I think Carolina's like kind of like nothing crazy of a career rebound, but this is a little bit of a rebound that we see. If she can survive that first round against Silvana Gomez, Silvana's going to come in here and just be like, she's crazy fighter. She's just going to try to get her out of there. But I think Carolina's she's like obviously a crafty veteran. I think she'll be able to
I'm worried about her, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't put much into that last win.
I don't either because I think they both were just like not.
Yeah.
I like Gomez Suarez. So she had that big knockout over the like Chinese prospect on that Singapore card.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's
Like
the worst. That's the worst fighter in the UFC.
No, I agree with you. That was not
female UFC.
No, I agree with you. She was lunging for takedowns from like across the cage and just got absolutely murdered with punches.
She had,
but I feel like Carolina isn't a fighter that likes to get hit.
That Chinese fighter from the Chinese Performance Institute. She fought, I think, Carnalesi in the first fight back with fans in Jacksonville, and it was the first fight back, and it was obviously, and it was the first fight of the night, and it was the craziest first round in the history. And then she was literally dead on the floor, and I think it was Song Yudong picked her up and was like, "No, you're going on the chair, and we're fixing you." And then she ended up getting knocked out in the second round. But I think Song Yudong was in her corner and tried to pick her up. But that fight was back in Jacksonville, first fight back with fans.
I remember.
That was a crazy fight.
Our guy Lee in the chat says Gomez Suarez KO plus 300 because she hits like a truck.
I like her I'm going to take her on the money line. I'll probably sprinkle some on KO or inside the distance as well.
The main event of the early prelims before the main prelim card is Matt Frevola versus Otman Azitar. This fight was supposed to happen forever ago on the first, I think it was the first McGregor versus Poirier.
And didn't he try to scale out for a PS4?
That was the story.
He said in the press conference, he was like, it wasn't a Mission Impossible mission.
I was trying to get my PS4.
Stupid.
They were trying to get a PlayStation into the facility.
One of the
weirdest things, they were giving wristbands to other people that weren't supposed to be in the bubble. It was real fishy, especially at the time. We didn't know what was happening. Frevola wound up fighting on that card anyway. Fought a really tough fight. I forget who was, another wrestler that wound up beating him. This fight finally rebooked. Got to root for Matt Frevola. It's a tough fight though.
I'm surprised isn't the betting. I'm surprised Azitar isn't a bigger favorite. Just knowing both of them going into it, knowing how much hype Azitar had prior to him getting kind of booted from the UFC and coming back.
Yeah.
He had a ton of hype.
I can't believe they let him back.
He hits like a truck. He's undefeated. I was kind of surprised that they if you just told me this fight was happening and I thought Azitar would be minus 250. I'm surprised that is this small. You think I'm off on that or I don't?
No, I'm with you. I mean, I get why. When's the last time he's fought?
Probably 2 years.
Let's see.
I don't love fighters off of a long layoff. All that being said, though,
he hasn't fought at least since that last.
No
one.
disrespect to Frevola, we love him. We love his brother, but
the cheese roller
from Rough and Rowdy.
Yep.
I think Azitar is the side here. Nothing crazy. Just like a unit play for me, but yeah, I'm with you. I think this should be more in the minus 200 range.
I'll go for Frevola out of respect, even though I saw him doing ads for DraftKings.
Oh, then never mind. Like, why am I actually? No, he's trying to get his money.
Yeah. All right, now the main prelim card, not the main card, but the main prelim card. Do we have the stop motion camera again?
Yeah.
The frame rate's a little off. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
Hopefully
If
the audio's all right.
The audio's fine, and if it's annoying to you, the audio will be up right after this.
On
And you can listen
Spotify,
back.
yeah, or wherever you get your podcasts, I guess. Andre Petrosky versus Wellington Turman.
Banger.
Yeah, good fight.
Banger in the middleweight division. I lean.
Okay, so this is my first.
Don't know.
This is my
What are the odds
first
on
Connecticut plus 165. Wellington Petrosky minus 195. We saw Petrosky submit Maximov early, which looking back on one of the worst line fights probably of the past few years. But we were on Maximov, so like I guess it was rightfully lined at the time. However, Turman, ever since he went to Connecticut, which by the way we'll get into Pereira said only real ones go. Like, wait, what was his quote? He had an unreal quote this morning. They did a piece on him in ESPN. He's like, only real ones go here. Obviously talking about Teixeira's gym, but he made it seem like he was saying only real ones go to Connecticut. but Turman's been in that camp too, and he's gotten better.
I think I like Turman.
I like Turman, especially as an underdog here, and he's fucking built like both these guys are built like fucking. They're
huge.
They're huge. They're like Sean Brady. They're just massive.
I agree with what Lee said in the chat too. I was going to say this, that I think it's Petrosky early or like Turman late.
Okay.
Like I think if Turman can weather that initial, like if Petrosky's having trouble taking him down, like sustaining takedowns, going for submissions, I think that's going to be a big problem for him if he can't do it.
I like Turman a lot here, man.
I do too. No, I think the line, like it's a good price for him. It's 160. Like
Turman's a good fighter.
I had this fight much closer.
Yes. Rowdy.
Well, even Wellington.
Well, oh my God, sounds like a town in West Virginia.
Right? Wellington almost sounds like Wellington Turman sounds like he'd be like Winston Churchill's like right hand man.
Yeah. Yes. All right, the next fight. This is the big Barstool main event. Meatball Molly versus Aaron Blanchfield.
Come on.
It's crazy how early this is on the card for how big of a name Molly has become.
It's just the card's that good. It's just the card's stacked.
It's an amazing card.
And
Molly's stoked about this too. She came into the office. She's like, this card is ridiculous. She wanted to know what I thought of like the main card fights, and she's going to be watching the whole thing. So obviously we're riding for the Meatball here. She's a big underdog according to the odds makers. What is she on the Barstool Sportsbook right now?
Plus 300 flat.
Plus 300 flat. So that's the price that you could get her at.
And
talked to her earlier this week. She seems very, very confident. Her team seems confident. They seem to know what Blanchfield's going to try to go for.
And she's plus 850 by knockout. She's on a 2-fight knockout streak.
850 by knockout. Holy crap.
So
worth a sprinkle. Come on.
I thought
responsibly.
How Molly looked against
Hannah Goldie.
Hannah Goldie. Her most impressive things, and don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing Hannah Goldie's takedown offense to Aaron's, but there was points that earlier in the fight, before obviously we saw Molly do the spinning back elbow again.
Yep.
Her takedown defense looked improved, and obviously that was kind of like her downside in the past. Fighters can improve. We've seen this a lot, and we saw that in the Hannah Goldie. This is a completely different animal, completely different fighter.
Much better prospect.
Better prospect. But if Molly, and we saw Aaron in her last fight against JJ Aldridge, kind of struggle with takedowns in the first 2 rounds. And then Aaron's good enough where she just turned it into a brawl and they got the standing submission, I think it was, guillotine choke. But if she can't get the takedowns on Molly, like, I don't know.
I think Molly's stand-up's better than her. I
think it is too.
So, and if we're thinking about this from a perspective of like chances, there's probably a decent chance that Aaron takes her down and just kind of dominates her. But if Molly can stuff some takedowns and whatnot, steal a round or two, plus
get
300
on your feet at the beginning of every round too.
And it's plus 300. And also it's like, of course we're going to take Molly because we would take Molly against fucking Floyd Mayweather. But I don't know. I kind of like it. Like, remove me from the Meatball Molly world that's within Barstool, Patty, and whatnot. I think I would still like her here.
But then throw her into that Barstool world, and you got to think Dave made a deal with the devil sometime along the way, and things just seem to work out.
If Molly wins this one,
if she wins, the Garden will
Especially,
explode. And it's a
if
shame
she
because
finished her.
Erin
Oh my
is a
God.
Jersey girl and
know.
everything, so it's like she's the hometown girl. If Molly knocked her out, the Garden would explode.
Molly's gonna get the bigger pop by far.
Oh yeah.
No
for
offense
sure.
to Erin. Erin's great.
She's great, but she's not Meatball Molly.
And Erin, what? She'll make another run later. This is Meatball's time.
Yeah.
You know, this is Team Molly all the way. Sorry, Erin.
Sorry, Erin. Another friend of Barcel, not as close as we are with Molly, of course, but Dominic Reyes makes his return to the octagon against Ryan Spann. Total banger. This could be a fight night main event in my eyes.
Yeah.
Dominic Reyes was, I think, roommates with Snapchat Steve and played some Call of Duty with us during the
What?
quarantine.
Wait. Dominic Reyes was roommates with Steve Romano.
I believe that's
What,
true.
in
In college.
Steve went to Stony Brook.
I think so, yeah.
No, he went to Hofstra.
Oh. Well, I believe they...
I know
Hofstra and Stony Brook are really close.
Maybe Steve's friend was his roommate.
You know what it is? Steve has
They knew each other. That's how the connection. That's how
You
I
know
initially
why
got the
that would
connection.
make sense? Steve has a friend who fought on a Contender Series recently.
Yes, we
So that would-
talked to him about
Also,
that.
Reyes is fucking in Connecticut too.
Yeah,
He moved camps.
Crazy.
moved-
You might be like
Connecticut's
drawing people to Connecticut.
We gotta go. We gotta
yeah.
go.
Make a
Danbury,
Connecticut
Connecticut, maybe after football season.
This has been a tough fight for me to really, because there's part of me that says, ooh, like Spann plus 180 spicy, but I really like Reyes, and there's part of me that like really wants him to like bounce back and like
Same.
get back to that like legit contender in that division, because I think he can be. I think he's talented enough.
Practically beat John Jones.
He did. I thought he did when I watched it initially, but it's just been really unfortunate what's happened since then. Like he has the fight with Jan, he gets knocked out. Then obviously Yuri was bad. Yuri was
real bad.
and he was so tough in that fight.
Yeah.
Like he got hit so hard so many times. It was kept throwing those big lefts, and then finally that elbow was.
The knockout was bad, and then his head hit him.
Oh, dude, that was scary. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That was one of the more devastating knockouts I've ever seen.
Agreed.
He just straight face planted limp. That was bad. But I'm a huge Reyes fan. I really, for his sake, like want him to bounce back.
Lee says he's plus 380 by decision.
I don't hate that. I mean, most of his wins have been by finish.
Yeah.
He definitely has that big left that he's knocked a lot of people out with, but
380, that's nice. That's nice odds.
and Spann has been known, like he's not totally like I don't want to say he's chinny, but it's like he's been Smith like folded him.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not like he hasn't been knocked out or anything.
I don't mind Spann here. I don't know. Like, I think Reyes is just he's still living off hype a little bit, but also he's fought.
He did beat a lot of.
How
good
long
guys,
ago
though,
was that
too.
last fight too?
And he's had probably at least a year off, maybe more.
That's the thing.
It was May 1st, 2021, so it's been more than a year.
Year and a half.
So maybe he comes back and really resurge in his career.
That's what I want.
Spann just kind of only throws bombs, right? He doesn't really like. I don't know.
It is tough for a guy that started his career 12-0 and he's lost 3 fights in a row.
But to killers.
To John Jones, the now champion and the former champion.
Yeah.
And then Erie.
Well,
Oh,
he's one of them. Yeah, he's
sorry.
the champ.
Sorry. I fucked
And
up.
Spann is like, I know he had that. He had smoked Cutelaba, and then I know he had Anthony Smith beat him. He beat Serkinov, who's not even in the UFC anymore. Got knocked out by Johnny Walker badly. I like Reyes. Like I wouldn't fault anyone betting Spann on the number. Like the number, it's a big number. They're giving Reyes respect considering everything that's happened. But like, if I'm just picking like the winner, I'll pick Reyes. I don't know if I wouldn't lay 230 with him though.
And then in the prelim main event, we've got Brad Riddell versus Renato Moicano.
Awesome fight. Coin flip.
This is a banger of a fight.
And Riddell, I feel like Riddell, he got submitted super fast in that last fight by Jalen Turner.
Yeah,
Which, like, you
45
can't-
seconds.
Mike
yeah.
Connor's coming off that war with RDA, where he literally looked like a fucking Diaz brother out there,
Yeah.
just like eating punches, just like
Riddell's
wouldn't
had some
die.
fucking good fights in his past, too. I'm looking at
Yeah, what
like,
Fazeev, he had a great fight. He just got finished late in the third round.
Drew
but-
Dober was he
Yeah,
beat
that
right
was
before
awesome.
that. Like,
Did he beat Dober?
Yeah.
That was an
Decision.
awesome fight. I remember that really close fight.
So
Awesome
I
fight.
mean, he's got a great schedule. Like, when you look at
Honestly,
the
this
people
I
he's
think has a
fought.
really good chance to be fight of the night.
Yeah.
If I was picking one, this would be the one I would pick. I think this is going to be an absolute banger. It's so hard to choose. Moicano's definitely like longer. Moicano's been, but like he's done 45, he's done 55. I don't. Oh, this is really tough.
This one's at 55.
Really tough. Coin flip. I think it's a coin flip fight.
Yeah,
I
Lion
feel like
indicates
I
that.
slightly lean Moicano.
I slightly lean Riddell.
I think Moicano might have more like a wider range of tools, but I think Riddell might be sharper. Like his striking,
Yeah.
I think is sharper.
Yeah.
And going from Jalen Turner to like Turner's huge lightweight,
True.
super tall.
Main card now. We kick it off with Dan Hooker versus Claudio Pulis.
All right, so if Claudio Puelas pulls off another
Like knee bar,
leg bar or
Yeah,
knee
yeah,
bar
yeah.
again,
Rip his ligaments to shreds.
I'm going like I don't know what to say, but I really like Hooker here, unless he truly is washed. But I think that's
the big question.
so like right. He goes against Arnold Allen when he's like literally deathly ill from a weight cut, and Arnold Allen who
He looks
probably
bad,
will
yeah.
fight for a belt at one point in his career.
Yeah.
Then before that, he fought Islam Makhachev, which
Yep.
no
Take that
issue
off
with
Yeah, it almost like whatever.
Yeah, like-
Yeah,
Then
Nazrat, who
Nazrat,
was pretty good and who he beat.
and I think Nazrat is much more comparable to Claudio Puelas than
Yeah.
Arnold
Allen or
I think Nazareth's probably better,
Islam
to be
Makhachev.
honest.
So Puelas, I mean, Dan Hooker, definitely the Dan Hooker that we know that we've seen should have significantly better striking than Claudio.
Claudio's last opponent is Clay Guida too. Like,
Yeah, he just caught him in like a knee bar. He just
Yeah.
got him in that right position.
Like Guido was like getting out of the position, he just caught his leg, and then it was over.
Yeah. I like
Dan Hooker should win this fight.
I
This
like
is set
Hooker
up for him
too.
to win.
like I like Hooker I like him a lot as a guy. I would love to see him get back on the
Same.
winning track. It's literally like I want to like just look into a crystal ball and just be like, is he done?
I like when he says Charlie Olives, when he calls Charles Oliver Charlie Olives.
I think like he's the perspective of competing for like
A
belt,
Yeah.
but I think he's still like
Unfortunately, I think he is. Yeah.
I don't think his career's over. You know what I mean?
No.
It just to me, I think what scared me was me and Robbie talking about off camera, I think yesterday, the day before, was that I think he lost a piece of himself in that Poirier fight.
Yeah, I know.
And then I think we saw a little bit of it when Chandler just attacked him and just knocked him out.
Almost like
I just never seen Dan Hooker be so. Obviously, that fight was a while ago now. In the Chandler fight, I never in my life seen Dan Hooker be so passive.
That was so weird.
He's so aggressive. Like even in the Poirier fight, he came like he was winning the early rounds. He came out like super aggressive.
That was such a great fight, man.
Awesome fight. He's done that in like all of his fights leading up to that.
That was quarantine, right?
It was yes.
Yeah,
It was like it was summer, like two
Well, not
summers ago.
quarantine, but like COVID.
Poirier and Hooker is almost like it took so much out of Hooker that Lawler McDonald too took out of Rory McDonald. I
Yeah.
feel like Rory McDonald was never the same fighter.
Because I remember I think we talked about in the show before, like clips came out from after that fight with Poirier. Well, two things. One, in the cage, you see Poirier still very like, he's like, get up, and Hooker literally looked like he had spent every ounce of energy that he possibly had. He was like dead on the ground. And then the video of them putting him on the bed and like wheeling him into the ambulance, like he looked like he was literally dead.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was
Very
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 scary.
concerning.
there's
Scary.
there's a backstage footage of that it does look.
I mean,
Yeah.
we posted it. It's very scary. Like that's just one of those wars that he just ate a lot of big shots for 5 rounds, and that's just the price these guys are. They're real life gladiators. It's just that's the price that
Dan Murphy.
they unfortunately have to pay sometimes.
We'll get to, but watch videos of Zhang's training. Only thing I'm debating is by finish or money line. She's a lock.
So
Agreed.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So I'm picking Hooker. I'm rooting for Hooker.
Yeah, I'm picking Hooker too.
Same. We're together on that one. The next fight I'm stoked for,
Oh yeah.
but also super worried for. Frankie Edgar versus Chris Gutierrez.
Okay.
I'm a Frankie Edgar guy. I'm a Jersey guy. Tom's River represent. Everything about this fight says Chris Gutierrez to me. Everything
Did you
about
see the
it.
press conference? Gutierrez is being like cold as fuck to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Like, he's
he's
like, I'm
like
going there to kill you.
Yeah.
I don't
Frankie
give a fuck.
hasn't always had
Like
the
he
best
wasn't. He
success.
was barely giving him even
hometown.
respect.
Yeah.
He wasn't even being like, shout out, he's a legend. He's done it all. Like, he wasn't even saying that. He's just like, I'm going to go there and just like, I'm going to take credit.
I
I don't like that because I believe him when he says it.
I do too. I think he's dead.
I
He
like
means it.
Gutierrez too.
But I
like him
want
as a fighter.
I want Edgar to get this win
I do
so
too.
bad at the Garden.
And it's because literally
So bad.
Last year, think about how crazy this is. Like last year in the Garden, he was beating
Yeah.
Norman. He was beating Vera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like deep into the third round and just got caught with that insane just front kick.
and
to
that
the
broke
face.
my heart.
Like that, it's
he
really
was beating
it's a shame.
Cheeto Vera, who a lot of people think like
He's
could
gonna be next for the belt.
Yeah.
Like, he's been on an insane run.
I want Edgar to win so
I
bad.
want like Edgar. The only thing that's scary with that, well, not only thing, but another thing that's scary too is he kind of had the mindset, which he deserves to have this mindset. He's a legend, Hall of Famer. It was like he in the press conference, he was basically just like I'm look at this, like they were Frankie. The whole place is chanting his name. Like every time they even mentioned his name, they were going nuts for me. He's like, I've already won.
Fact.
And I always feel like facts, but I was feeling something that scares me when like you got a guy on the other end who's starving.
Who
wants to murder you to feed his family.
Have you seen his quotes about his like, I really don't want to retire, but I'm gonna go through with this. It's like it's weird. I don't know.
Well, I think it's one of those. He's just like he's almost not quite as bad as Liddell, but like where he's just been on the wrong end of some nasty.
Like such bad.
Like the Sanhagen one was.
I was worst of the worst.
I was petrified for him.
The Sanhagen one.
He literally was a statue.
Insane.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone get that stiff.
Yeah.
He literally felt like he was like you knocked over like a ground gnome on the lawn.
I think that's
he was like this on the ground. Like his arms were like I was like, oh my god. I think
that really only happens to like people that have really taken some serious damage in their life.
Like the Ortega. I saw someone in the chat, the Ortega one when the bad uppercut knockout.
His old fights too, like
the Vera knockout.
Even the fights he won.
Oh, of course.
So much the Gray Maynard trilogy. Yep. Like holy fuck, he basically got finished in those fights and came back from the dead.
Dude, I love Frankie so much. It like breaks my heart that this is the last. I feel very grateful that I'm going to get to see his last fight.
Yeah.
And I basically guess I got to see his last
such a good, like you can make a movie out of his career if he goes out on a win. Regardless, but
for sure.
That'd be such a good ending to that movie. He goes out with a win at MSG.
I think Gutierrez by finish.
Also, Gutierrez is what? How many years younger than him?
10, I think.
That's a massive.
This is a
41 and 31.
Frankie.
And there's a big difference between 41 and 31, you know?
Massive.
This is Frankie. I love you. Business, strictly financial, brother.
Yeah.
I think what do we got? So we got Gutierrez by, where's him by finish? Plus 160 by finish.
Probably the play.
I don't think that's a bad play. Even him by knockout, he's plus 225. I don't think that's a bad play either, unfortunately, Frankie.
All right, this next fight I do think is going to live up to the potential and be fight of the night. Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler. This is the slobber knocker of the card, the all-out fireworks fight. I think that's what everyone's expecting, but we talked about it before. You might not be expecting that.
So there's part of me because of a few things. One, obviously, Chandler's back after the Ferguson knockout. He's right back. He's number 5, number 2, and Poirier, obviously, who I think Poirier would even be like. I think the winner of this fight will put themselves in a spot where they're like next, or they're in the line, like they're right there. Yep. Part of me, the fact also that Oliveira won now, that's easier to get another title fight when it's not a rematch, when it's like new face, new blood. Plus, I think some people, I even heard Chael say it, which this doesn't matter, but I'm just saying this is all for like UFC storyline type things. That like Chael was always like, or has said like Chandler, he thinks is the best chance to win, to beat Makhachev with his wrestling background. No, I'm not saying that. I think he would lose for sure. But I think they're setting this all up where Chandler might be in a mental space where he's like, hey, maybe this fight, he's going to try to make it exciting, but don't go full, just like, I want to put on the fight of the year. Maybe go, hey, I want to wrestle and win a fight and be like, hey, like, I'm next for a title shot. So there's part of me that thinks Chandler might not go the brawl route and just say, fuck it. Like, I've given you 4 great brawls. Like, let me go win one for myself. Just wrestle, win. And listen, even I don't even know if he is confident that he can just like guaranteed, I'm just going to wrestle and win.
But that's probably his
Poirier's a stud. I think that's his
most
best
likely route to victory.
Because I think if they just stay on the feet, I think Poirier is much better.
Poirier pieces him up on.
I think he does too. I think he smokes him.
Think Poirier can knock him out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, me too.
I think definitely.
For sure.
And I think that's what's going to happen. That's my prediction. I think Poirier finishes.
Me too.
I think Poirier's better on the feet. He's better. He's more technical.
Also, by the way, Poirier's going to be like going to make more off the hot sauce, I think.
I know, yeah. Official hot sauce of the UFC.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And like, you know what's funny?
I've tried it too. It's actually very good.
My friend sent me a photo of his mom. His mom bought that hot sauce at like a grocery store once, and it's her favorite hot sauce.
It's
and
really
she had no idea that he was like, he took a photo of it. He's like, hey, do you know about this? And I was like, yeah, that's Dustin Poirier's. And he was like, yeah, my mom buys it all the time. She doesn't know who Dustin Poirier is, but she loves the hot sauce.
It's like pretty spicy. It is pretty spicy. There's 2 versions of it. There's one that's even spicier, which I can't imagine. 3 then. It's like a vinegar-based hot sauce. So it's like kind of like a watery hot sauce, but like it was good. I used to do like Tyson chicken nuggets, dinosaur chicken nuggets in the air fryer, dip them in some hot sauce. Good stuff.
So I would say Jesse Adams said, do we want to see one of the guys even fight Islam though? Because both of them will get finished in my mind. I don't disagree with that, but I think Islam, it's crazy we're saying this. He just won the title, but I think he's in a spot where he can be so dominant where it's like, who else is going to fight?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like these are those
are the people. Yeah.
Him, Beneil, like these are some of the best guys we have to offer.
McGregor, who obviously has the code to beat him and everything.
Don't forget about that.
He's got it.
They drew it up.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, these are the guys he's got to fight. Some of these guys, I mean, the best guys lightweight has to offer. So yeah, I think Poirier is going to win. But I think if Chandler wrestles, I think he can win.
Yeah, Chandler said in an interview with DC, he's been wearing his wrestling singlet every Wednesday in training camp. He's been tying up his wrestling shoes because he loves getting back into that wrestling mindset. He'll always be a wrestler at heart. So he has been dropping hints. If that's how he fights, there's been some foreshadowing towards that. In the co-main event.
Poirier by KO, by the way, is plus 140-ish.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
In the co-main event, Carla Esparza defends her championship that she walked down the aisle with against Weili Zhang, our guy Blaze's favorite fighter of all time. And he got his picture with him.
I saw that.
Happy for him.
I don't mind. Some people did, and Lee put it up, which is fine. Like, he said it was cringe. I didn't mind her walking down with the belt.
Lee said that was cringe?
Yeah, he put it on Spinning Backfist. He
said Lee gets very opinionated on that. Like him personal opinions.
Sometimes he does, and I think we're going to get smacked. Like
I'm afraid they're going to be like, you're the Spinning Backfist guy.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'll be like, I didn't tweet it, bro.
Totally.
I had no issue with that. She won. I understand it was a brutal fight.
I think that's kind of like a cool thing. Like, she won it like the week before her wedding, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
She worked her whole life to do that.
Lee, the new batch of lightweights in the only way. No, Lee,
do you not
sponsor
love
sponsor respond to
these accusations?
Yeah,
because even he was talking shit about Nate Diaz, and I was like, bro, I was like,
you can't.
I love Nate Diaz.
With Nate Diaz,
I was like, no, we're slandering him.
Fake champ, but guess what? She's
not the fake champ.
No,
the fight. No, listen, the fight sucked.
No activity.
I guess I would say. I shouldn't say I couldn't believe it, but she was getting murdered at the press conference.
Yeah.
Every time.
Why do people hate her?
Every time
because of that fight. That'll hang with.
It's literally that fight.
Career.
But then they love Rose. I mean, I know Rose has.
Well, that's part of it too. People love Rose.
Yeah,
it's the truth. I know people. We have some friends.
One strike per minute.
We have
content is content, boys. All right, Lee.
All right, fair enough, Lee.
Hey, Gilbert Godfrey, what the fuck do you know, pal?
These guys.
What do you know?
Gilbert Godfrey.
Yo, drop some knowledge on me, Gilbert.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yo, Gilbert, drop some knowledge on us. What do we need to know? What are we getting wrong?
He's a Yak fan.
I just love.
If you were a Yak fan, you'd be watching their show, right?
No, they probably just ended, and he came in here.
Gotcha.
Drop some knowledge on me, Godfried. What do you know? Help me out. Help a casual out.
Give us the bet. Give us the lock, as the unnamed other betting company says. Give us the lock. Weili Zhang is going to run through Carla Esparza.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Yeah, I honestly,
I don't know.
Honestly, I wanted to say. I wanted to say.
I don't know, Robbie.
I wanted to say this too. I like the way Esparza handled the booing. I think there was part of it that she was kind of like, okay, like, all right, like, bet, say less, because you're going to be booing again when they raise my hand and say and still. Also, one thing, I don't know if this is kind of just slipped on me. I did not realize how big of a dog she was. I don't know. I just didn't like. I guess that was the one line. She almost was 300.
Dude, it's insane.
That's a crazy line.
I agree.
I love Weili.
Weili's going to
like a big fan of her as a person.
We'll see.
Huge fan of her as a person, as a fighter. She's much more exciting than Esparza.
She's going to finish her in the third round.
Exciting
came
fighter
to me like Oz the Mentalist.
Does that Oz guy? Are you talking about Dr. Oz, like the guy who just
Oz?
Oz. Oh,
came to me. Like
Who's
Oz
Oz?
the Mentalist. He's the mentalist that came into the office this week. Do you
like,
see that?
I didn't see that. No, I missed
this guy came into the office. He did BFFs. He did the Yak, and he did some of the craziest shit I've ever seen a human being do in my life.
What the fuck?
He said, "Kate, pick a name, any name that you're gonna call like around the holidays that you love." She says, "Okay." Write it down on a piece of paper. She says, All right, writes it down. The whole time Nick is holding this guy's wallet, right? So he goes, all right, I got the name. He goes, it's a guy because he touched your hair. She's like, that's weird. He goes, Nick, can you hand me my wallet? Nick hands him his wallet. There's a card in the wallet that says, say hi to Jeff for me.
No, fuck that. I ain't messing with
Nick
that.
had
Fuck
the wallet
that.
the whole time.
No, fuck that.
The whole fucking time. And he did it to Dave. He told Dave is in Miami. He's sitting in this chair. He tells Dave, go to your Instagram, start scrolling down the feed, stop on any post you want. Don't tell anyone. Don't show me. Just pick a random word that's used in that post caption. Dave goes, okay, I got it. He has a chalkboard. He writes down something, and he goes, what was the thing? Dave goes, it was for F-O-R. Turns it around. He knew it.
What?
Dave was in Miami on Zoom on his own phone. This is what the guy's doing.
We know JackMac wanted Dr. Oz. No, I don't. Dr. Oz. I just saw Oz, and I was in the politics mode from this past week, and I thought he was talking about Dr. Oz, but I didn't know this mentalist was in the office.
You need to watch the videos. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen a human being do.
Funny enough, 6th grade, we had a mentalist come for like our hypnosis.
Oh, yeah, we did a hypnosis.
So like a Friday night like school event, and I got called onto the stage, and then after it, my friends and I got into a fight because he said I was faking. I don't remember. I think I was faking, but like my friend was like, "That was so bullshit. You were faking." And I was like,
"You seem like the kind of guy who, even as a young child, would not want to fake. Would kind of call the hypnotist out on like."
I didn't in 6th grade. I went with the flow.
All right,
maybe that's what changed.
Yeah,
I don't know. 7th grade. I'll tell you the story.
I feel like modern JackMac, if a hypnotist came in here and said, I'm going to hypnotize you, you would be like, we'll see about that.
No, I'm not.
Right?
No, I don't. I think like dark arts like that, I don't fuck with, but I kind of.
Dark arts.
Yeah. Oh, that's dark arts. Oh, yeah.
Dark arts.
That's praising like somebody that's not God. It's just like, but anyways, let's get back into the other card.
Yeah. That was some tangent.
I think the Esparza lines, I think it's a little too, giving Wailing just a little too much respect, and she deserves all the respect. As far as so I think I thought about too the grappling edge. I mean, Rose was able to hold Zhang down for like periods of time in the second fight. I don't see why Esparza can't do the same thing.
Yeah,
I think Esparza can make another ugly fight, another ugly, boring fight, and potentially win.
I don't know if she wants to make it like ugly with Zhang though, because Zhang is so good that like you make one mistake with her and you're gonna clip 5 times before you look up.
I know.
But she's gonna.
Zhang could put her foot on the pedal and
she throws
like
those,
that Andrade fight was insane.
She throws those
no
strikes.
Doubt. No, listen, I wouldn't be like totally shocked if that happened.
Yeah.
But I just think you're plus 300 plus like 275. Like I think that's Esparza deserves a little more respect than that. I think.
We'll see.
Like if this was a pick'em or like something like it's like close, like I would take Zhang all day.
Yeah.
But I think her laying like almost minus 400, 350 is just a lot.
Lee talking about the body kicks from Wei Lee.
She's a monster. I'm a much
like
bigger fan of her than I am Esparza.
Yeah. Look at what she did to Joanna. Crazy shit. All right, and then the main event. It's time. Boom. Adesanya versus Pereira. It's going to be insane.
Yes.
It's going to be fireworks. I hope it's going to be an exciting Israel Adesanya fight in front of MSG. I hope it's not going to be a fight where there's booze for portions of it. The comments from the head coach of City Kickboxing were very interesting, which Ev pointed out to me on Helwani's show, kind of talking about how they push the negatives on their fighters and how they want all of their fighters to like adapt and go with the flow and go with what they're teaching. Said Adesanya was the last one to really accept that.
Stu.
Oh, Stu.
But he said he kind of always is though.
He said he always is, yeah. But
and
it was interesting.
Helwani was kind of trying to poke back where he was like, "Oh, like is it more?
Is it
like
fame?
He was like, do you think more? It's like the thing. Do you think it's because he's just won all his fights in the division, so he thinks like he kind of knows what he's doing?" And I guess the discrepancy was more. I think Eugene, who's the City kickboxing head coach, was like trying to push more out of him in these last performances, saying like you could like I don't know if it was exactly take more risks, but it was more like you could kind of push more, like been more dominant. Say I think that was more what he was going for, and then Adesanya being like, no. I don't think it was him.
I don't love that from Adesanya.
I don't think it was Adesanya saying that he couldn't have done more, but he's just like, hey, like I'm out here picking these dudes apart for 5 rounds. They can't touch me. Like, what do you want me to do?
I'm with that too. Also, he's a champ.
Yeah.
He's proved that he can like switch the lights off of people. why go in there and like if you know you can piece somebody to death? I mean, I get it. It's a risk, right? It's like if you want to be the most exciting fighter in the world, you have to be okay with getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Like you have to be okay with if you want to knock out Jared Cannonier, you have to be okay with
him potentially.
Yeah.
And there's an aspect of coming out as the Undertaker, and it's like
that's also.
Well, I think that's more of a fans thing.
Yeah.
Like the fans didn't like that, and I think they haven't liked the last few performances.
Yeah.
Where like Cody, he watched it. He said, "Made Izzy seem to be all about himself and not about the team." I didn't totally get that part of it because I see the way he interacts and I see the way that his teammates seem to really like him.
Yeah, that's what.
So I never got. I don't think I got
it
that.
was a little weird to hear Eugene talk about him in the way he did.
Why was he talking?
Generally,
like
don't hear
that?
coaches talk about their.
It was. I was interested that Eugene even said it. This is what he said. He said, "So the 4 guys in this card." He basically was like, "Oh, like." Going off what Robbie said too, like he was like they're very about like teach like harp on the negatives, like make your weaknesses stronger. That's like their whole camp and gym is based off of. That's like their mantra view almost.
So Riddell, Olberg.
So he basically said Hooker was first. That Hooker was the one that I think the most was like I need to completely retool. I need to like really just like refocus, re-energy, like just get back, kind of just like fix himself. Then I forget who he said Olberg or Riddell, which one was first or second,
one
but
of them.
They were the next like 2. And then he was like, Izzy was last.
Kane's here.
WWE Kane?
Yeah.
The mayor of Knoxville County?
Yeah.
I almost like going to say Kane Velasquez. I was like, whoa.
Oh, that
was
was
me.
No. He has been here twice.
Kane Velasquez?
Yeah.
And not Harry Kane either. He's in England.
But yeah, so I guess actually getting to the fight itself, I said a few times in the podcast, I just had an instinct that Pereira might do something. There's like part of me that does like, I don't know. He just hits so hard. And I think Adesanya's never faced somebody like this.
Have you talked yourself back into Pereira?
No, I'm betting on Adesanya.
What a storyline though. Right?
No,
amazing.
It's out of a
It's
movie.
amazing.
This is
It's out of a movie.
So
this is real
so
life.
like Pereira knocks out Izzy once in one of the most brutal ways and beats him another time in their world.
Granted, I think pretty unanimously Izzy won the first fight.
Yeah.
And was dominating the second fight. Actually had him a standing 8 count.
Yep.
The round prior, and then he just got caught.
And then Izzy goes and dominates the UFC world.
Yeah.
He's never lost in middleweight.
Yeah, the only time he lost was when he went up, and he probably ends up regretting that because it's hard to do that.
Totally.
And he loses to a great fighter. And now, then this guy who beat him twice in kickboxing comes over,
chases him basically
to the UFC, and goes on this not even unbelievable run, just a run where it's like, holy shit. He went from unranked to title fight within what, 3 fights?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. And now
and was knocking besides Anderson Silva, like knocked everybody out. Like
Yep.
Brunson, like Wilkinson, who's now crazy. Wilkinson has lost a fight since then.
Oh yeah.
Brunson, I guess he fought.
Brunson was at the Garden too.
I guess he didn't finish Vittori either, but he beat Vittori.
Vittori, you can't finish.
And then
He's
he
like
was-
he's
he's
like an
heavyweight
ogre.
steel,
He's an
yeah.
ogre. Yeah. No disrespect.
But a lot of exciting performances.
And then we saw this guy Pereira like knock out Strickland, who was on a run that looked like he was going to fight Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He knocked out that Greek guy, right?
Yeah, that was the card paper.
Yeah.
Machildis or Andrews Machildis or however you say his name. It's Greek.
At the end of the day,
And Bruno Silva.
And the Bruno Silva fight was honestly like more underwhelming for him.
yeah.
Yes.
Like
absolutely.
Silva had his moments. Silva was able to wrestle, and Silva's not really a wrestler.
But didn't he finish him in the third? Or am I making that up?
I think it was one of those if the fight was like a minute longer.
Okay.
Like Pereira had him on the ropes, like he was walking him back. Bruno was kind of eating his shots though, which I was very impressed by how hard Poatan punches. But
that Bruno Silva fight is like the sole thing I look at in this fight of like, I think Izzy's going to beat him.
that's kind of what I came back to too, where I'm like, if that's the guy. Also, Strickland, I think, fought him stupid.
I think you're right about that.
Like
as well.
Strickland literally played into his hand.
Yeah.
And I like Strickland, but Strickland,
I know.
like he literally did
I think
exactly.
he knew it
He did
afterwards,
exactly
too.
what
He's
you shouldn't do fighting a guy like Alex Pereira. Like, let me just stand straight in front of him until he just.
We know Izzy's not going to do
Until he
that.
just cracks me
Yeah.
with a left hook.
The thing here is, I think, like somebody like Izzy, and he's gotten compared to John Jones, which is a great comparison because of how long his title reign has been.
Yeah.
But the longer parts of like at the end of a title reign, not the end, but as you get further along, it kind of is like, is this guy going to be motivated? Is this guy going to really get in there and really put on a show? This one is like
the most
the
motivated
motivation,
he's ever
yeah.
been.
this is his fight.
Yeah.
And I think Izzy's the guy. But
like he said at the press conference, he currently has bragging rights over him. He's
But-
like, you got the bragging rights.
if we're at MSG on Saturday night, it's 12:30 in the morning, and it's the third round or even second round. Pereira catches him. I would not be shocked. But I'm on Izzy. I'm on Izzy.
I'm betting Izzy, but
I really just want it to be an exciting fight.
I just want Izzy to win, man. I want Izzy to knock him out. I don't know if he's going to do that, but
That'd be
I
awesome.
would love if Izzy knocked him out.
Do you guys agree with Kenny Florian saying those two kickboxing matches don't matter? His reasoning was because it's different sport. Plus, Izzy wants to show everyone he's still the best one. Well, it does matter because it's not like Izzy has this amazing ground game and the MMA. They're going to have kind of a kickboxing.
Sort of. I think they matter more mentally than anything.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
the thought of
I
this
think that's
guy
fair.
can and has knocked me out before matters way more because they were also a while ago. Their styles have changed
Is
a
he
little
the
bit.
only
They
guy that's
have to
knocked
go
out, is he?
MMA.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
Because he's lost 4 times in kickboxing.
I think he lost like 4 or 5.
So
he was
it's
like
like-
75 and like 5. Like
Yeah,
something.
insane.
I think
Something
as
like that.
far as their fighting goes, I do think it'll be like pretty different. But I think mentally, like you
But
can't,
the
you can't
standoff,
totally shake that.
like I mean, like,
I don't think they're going to
could you
grapple.
think Izzy could like shoot on him? That would be crazy.
I don't think
If
he
he
will.
if he gets rocked, I think he may.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
He was
That's a
talking
good
about. He
point.
was talking about if because of how strong like Pereira's the bigger guy. I would
Yeah.
assume like potentially like physically stronger. That if he tried to like do some shit and like Izzy, which I was having this crazy. I was having this crazy thought. I was like half asleep yesterday morning, and I was really having this thought. It was really only because Izzy said it in the embedded that like if he shot like a takedown like Pereira did or something, even leaned in and Izzy just like submitted him.
It'd be funny.
Yeah.
Like
That'd
just
be
like
real
a
funny.
crazy, like just
I mean, remember when Connor almost got a guillotine on Poirier?
Yes. Yeah.
like
would've
some
been
shit like that.
awesome.
He just slips in and is what you just never really seen his jiu-jitsu before. He kind of just catches him in like a crazy choke.
Yeah.
I think that's like
Number one, Poirier.
maybe the most unlikely scenario there is. In
What
this
is
fight,
what
but
is Izzy via submission?
I'm gonna guess it's plus like
1800.
more. I bet.
Speaking of almost submissions, there was a great clip I saw on our Spinning Backfist Twitter and just in Twitter in general. It was when Poirier almost got Habib in Abu Dhabi back in, and there's the clip of Habib saying,
I know what you're.
"This guy, crazy guy, he think I'm going to
Tap
tap in front of father."
Tap in front of my father. Never.
And then obviously, then Habib tapped him. I mean, but
Yeah.
no, crazy.
Only 16-1 for Izzy by sub.
Okay.
Pereira's 28-1 by sub.
Yeah. that
Do you
makes
think
sense.
there's a better chance Izzy goes up to 205 with a win, or down to 170 if Leon beats Usman in the third fight?
I don't think he goes to 170.
Nah, because I don't think his body really. He's like a thin guy already.
Yeah, I think I especially with Yuri.
Yeah.
I think him and Yuri would be a good fight
That'd be sick, dude.
because him and Yuri would straight.
And they're both like
they're
kind
gonna
of like,
stand and bang. Yeah,
and they're both kind of like these. Like he's the style bender. Yuri's like the
samurai.
The samurai. The style bender versus samurai. It's almost like
Pretty
like a
awesome.
comic book. It'd be sick.
It is. You could make an anime out of that. I know Adesanya
Damn.
loves his anime.
Did you
Also
see-
said
Yeah,
he busted a nut to cut weight.
Yeah, I did see that.
You know, Trent texted me the link to the video first. He was the first one to alert me of this video. And I just texted him back before I click on this. Did he say that he came to cut weight? And Trent said, indeed he did. Yeah. I said, yeah, that's Izzy. That's him. That's exactly what I would
It was so
expect him
funny
to
in the
say.
video. He didn't want to say it.
Yeah, the way he said
but he
bust
was
a
like,
nut.
just like busted a nut.
Yeah.
he was like, it was amateur.
Yeah. Crazy. Apparently it worked. Do you want to do a parlay for the card?
I'm with Pat W. I don't know if Izzy's big enough for 205.
I don't know.
What
if he is
Jan
either.
did to him, but maybe he
It
didn't
was
properly
troubling
go
for
about
sure.
it. Yeah, but let's make a parlay. And shout out to chat. Thanks for everybody being
We
here.
all like Hooker, right? So should
I do. I mean, I do.
Hooker, Poirier. Hooker, Poirier, Izzy.
Do we try to like? Do we try to go? I don't want to do this to him, but Gutierrez.
No.
Just don't do it to him.
Don't do it to him.
I think I almost feel like that's the one I feel the most confident about, and I hate it.
But like, if Frankie Edgar pulls it off, think about how we would feel.
Yeah, I agree. Also, in Cody Goldman's, does Justin or Chandler jump up with a win? I don't think so. It seems pretty set that they're going to fight in Australia
Yeah, I think so
in
too.
February.
I think so.
I don't think so. I think
Dana like loves that fight.
I think it'd either be them. Like I think that's going to be the next fight, And I think I think the winner of Dustin Chandler either fights Beneil, and that's like a straight like winners next in line.
Yeah.
Or I don't think Beneil honestly is deserving, but I think that'd be a good fight to make. Like, say Poirier wins, and it's like Poirier Derry, which would be a great fight.
Dustin, Meatball, Turman, Zane. No, we're not taking Zane. I say it might be Yair Volk first.
See, I don't like Yair. Like, I really like Yair. I just don't think he
That
deserves
shocks
it.
me. That
Yair Volk would
He's
be.
literally coming off a loss and then a win because the guy got injured.
What would
and
Volk
Dana
be
seemed
in
like
that?
he was in love with that Volk
Minus
Islam
450?
fight.
Who?
Volk against Yair. What would Volk be?
Probably minus
He
300,
should be,
400,
yeah.
350, 400.
Volk destroys him, I think. And I like.
I just
Yair.
like I said, I just don't when you lose to Holloway, and then you just like win because or threw his shoulder out in the first round.
They could do Dustin versus Colby, but I think Colby would dominate. Like the future line's out for that, and Colby's like.
But I think,
600.
but if Dustin wins, he's gonna stay at 155.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
so close to a belt.
So yeah.
You're right.
Like why would he
If
go up
Dustin
after
wins,
that?
he might get a title shot, even if he's not the next title shot.
But
He might be
Colby
able to wait
said
around for one.
that he can fight at 185, 155, and 145.
Colby said he could fight at
Yeah, no, he
145.
said what?
Colby said 145.
I think so. Yeah, let me check that out. He said he can fight whenever, like
I don't.
wherever
believe
the.
it. I mean, I believe that he said it. I don't believe that he can make it.
Because I think Dustin, when he initially was entertaining like the Nate fight, like saying I wanted more to do like fun fights, I think he's been like rejuvenated since then as like a title contender.
Yeah.
Like I think his attitude seems different from that time when he was like he almost seemed like I made my money, I'll just fight fun fights and just kind of get paid and go off into the wherever. But now if he just all of a sudden you beat the number 5 contender, you're number 2, you're right back.
Yeah. So what's the parlay? What are we thinking?
We can just do what we said. The 3, we can just go Hooker, Poirier, Adesanya.
Colby said.
I like those 3.
Colby said that.
And Meatball.
Somebody asked him if he would fight at 155, and he said, "Nah, I'm not a bully. Like I don't want to bully the guys down there." So
Fight someone your own size.
Yeah, he said like, "Yeah, I'm not a bully."
Also, Pollyanna coming out of the cloud work, huh? We didn't talk about that on the show.
Oh, yeah, he said that Colby wanted her to put a finger in his butt.
Oh yeah.
And he got upset about that. Apparently, no kink shaming. You know.
No, yeah.
I mean, maybe he's into that. I don't know.
Maybe he is.
Pollyanna, but isn't Pollyanna and Chris Curtis like a thing?
Are they?
They might be. It all
Or are they
came
just
because Colby said last year to Submission Radio. I read up on this and I forgot it, but there was a picture of them together, like Pollyanna and Colby training. And they were like, "Oh, like what's that all about?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, like I was practicing my bedroom cardio with her." That's what he said. And he was like, "We're not putting a label on it. Like we're 2 consenting adults. Like we don't need labels. Like labels are so like old school." And then she came out immediately. Was like, "That's repulsive. Like he's a disgusting human being." And then waited a year. She had one of those humanizing fighters. Like
yes.
And she responded to that. It had nothing to do with Colby. She responded to that. Like Colby got upset when I didn't put fingers up his ass. And I called that a ricochet shot. People were like, "That's a direct shot. You don't know what it is." I called it ricochet because the way it was in response to her humanizing fighters. Like, it had nothing to do with Colby, and he just wound up getting fried.
Oh,
well this
he kind of
week
started
has been crazy
Honestly,
for MMA Twitter.
I need like him if him and Hamzat fight, like Hamzat call him like a finger in the booty ass bitch or something like that. Like that would be so fucking funny.
That would be very funny in Hamzat's voice too. But that's it for the UFC.
This guy like finger in his butt.
Yeah.
He grown man.
What is this, brother?
What is brother? No, brother.
We'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. with the champ, Leon Edwards. It's going to be a great time, great interview. I'm looking forward to it. I'm calling it a great interview before it even happens.
I'm super excited.
Can't wait. So tune in tomorrow, 11 a.m. We'll see you back here in the chat.
Leon the go. I'm ready. I have so many things. I don't even need to. I have so many things I want to ask him.